What's up, everybody? Adam here, and this is my weekly haul. We had a lot of books this week. There's actually a few books that I did not get the opportunity to pick up, mainly because some of them were a little more pricey than I wanted, and a couple of them were missing. I really wanted to get the new What If Infinity book. I think it was What If Infinity X-Men. Shop didn't have any. A little disappointed. That's really the only book that I wasn't able to get. I did skip out on some of the variants. Like, I was going to pick up the blank cover variants for a couple of books this week, but they wanted $6 a book. I don't want to pay $6 a book, so I didn't pick those up, unfortunately. So, enough about what I didn't get this week. Let's take a look at all the stuff I did get this week. I'm actually going to start with pretty much all my wife's pulls. So first up, we have Sam Wilson, Captain America, #1. This is one she's been really excited about and waiting for, pretty much ever since she finished reading, I guess the, third relaunch of Captain America, which started with the Captain America Lost in Dimension Z. So she's been pretty excited seeing where the comic has gone. Falcon and Captain America are two of her favorites, so she's really been excited and waiting for this new Captain America book. Next up, Justice League of America, #4. Very, very interesting series thus far. I've been reading it as well as her, and I'm curious to see where issue #4 goes. If you guys have been reading it at all, spoilers, I'm sorry. A Kryptonian deity has come to Earth, and Superman has kind of just been like, yeah, I vouch for him, he's a good guy. And it's kind of, to me, it feels a little uncharacteristic of Superman to just immediately be like, yeah, that guy's fine. I've never met him before in my life, but he's cool. He's cool, guys. So I'm curious to see where the story is going to go from that point. Next up on her list, Red Hood and Arsenal, #5, featuring the Batman again. Issue #4 actually kind of got me interested in the series more. The first 3 were kind of meh, but issue 4 was actually pretty good. It had a little more depth to the story and the characters in it, so I'm very, very curious to see what's going to happen in issue #5. Next up, it's technically both of us, DC Comics Bombshells #3, Deliver Us from Evil, Zatanna. It's one of those series where we just kind of like the bombshell designs. Thus far, I don't think the comic's been very good, but I love all the character designs in it, so it's a book I want to pick up more or less just for the art. Next up, and it is a weekly title as it turns out, Batman and Robin Eternal, #2. I have not yet had the opportunity to read #1, so that's just going to kind of go in a little pile of to be read, which is a very big pile, considering I still haven't even finished reading all of my stuff from last week. And then the last of her books is Captain America White, #3. I think I've read #1. I don't think I've read #2 yet. I'm not terribly impressed with the series yet. Perhaps if I read issues 2 and 3, it might sway me a little bit, but I definitely not a huge fan of it thus far. It's really nice looking. I really love the art style, but the writing is kind of But, like I said, I only read the first one, so we'll see where it goes from that point. Next up, new release from Top Cow Comics, Switch #1. I actually got to read this before it came out, did a little preview of it. It's a fun book. I'm not a huge Witchblade person, and basically the book is an alternate universe, and it goes over all the different bearers of the Witchblade, and if this book has the new Witchblade person. So it's kind of a fun book. It's cool. I like it, so I picked it up. Next up is a book I've been waiting for a very, very long time. I Hate Fairyland, #1. It's a Scotty Young book. Scotty Young art, and Scotty Young writes it. And it's a fun book. I got to read it a little early. It's a fun book. There's not a lot of amazing story to it, but the artwork is really, really good. The colors make everything pop. Like, it's really, really good. Normally I save variants for the end, but I think this is the only variant I got. So, we have the variant of I Hate Fairyland #1. Yeah. That's all I have to say about that one. She really, really dislikes Fairyland. Next up, before we go any further, because I have it in the middle of my pile for some reason, I got the Marvel previews for free, I guess, because I bought a bunch of Marvel #1s, which is what I'm about to get into next in the stack. So, it's kind of cool. It's got pictures. It's nice. I'll probably give it to my wife and she can use it for crafts since it's essentially free artwork. So, that brings us to the all new, all different, or all different, all new. I can never remember my things. Marvel stuff. First up, Guardians of the Galaxy #1. I'm pretty excited for this, mainly because Rocket's leading the team, I guess, so I'm curious to see how the guy who basically just wants to go around blowing stuff up is going to lead the Guardians of the Galaxy. It should be interesting. Like, it really should be good. Next up, New Avengers #1. I'm usually not a huge Avengers fan, or at least I haven't been recently. I did have most of the old Avengers and Uncanny Avengers that came out in the Marvel Now, but I dropped out of them pretty quick. I just couldn't get into them. But I'm willing to give these a shot again. And I say these because I actually have the Uncanny Avengers #1 here. It's got a really cool wraparound cover. I would like to get, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is not it. I would like to try and get the J. Scott Campbell cover. I'm not sure how much that would be, but it's a cover I'd really like to get. Really, really nice. I saw it on Facebook. He posted it. It's a really sleek cover. I'll see if I can find a picture of it and just kind of pop it up in the video in one of these two spots there. Next up, Chewbacca #1. This is another series that I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it, because you have Groot, who basically just says, I am Groot, and you have Chewbacca, who basically all he says is, That was a great Chewbacca impression, by the way. If you didn't like it, that's your problem. So, I'm very curious to see what they're going to do there. If they're going to have him tag with Han Solo all the time, and he kind of translates like Rocket does for Groot. So, we'll see. We'll see. And speaking of Star Wars, Shattered Empire #3. Yes, #3. I have not yet had an opportunity to read #2 yet, and now I have #3 sitting on my pile. So I gotta catch up and start reading books. I'm getting backlogged really, really bad. So yeah, I can't say whether I'm excited for it or not. I'm excited for #2, so in theory, I guess I'm excited for #3. And then I just have one that I randomly picked up, mainly because I just like the cover. Harley Quinn 21. Hey, Deadshot. Here's Harley. And basically, I just like the cover because of the reference to The Shining. And, that's a pretty cool cover. I like it. I don't really know if I'll read it, but it's a cool cover to have, if nothing else. Next up, Deadpool vs. Vanos #3. I'm going to finish out this series. I don't know how long this series is. I am not liking it as much as I was hoping I was going to. It's kind of all over the place, which I guess I should have expected, but I really didn't know what to expect from Deadpool versus Thanos. And it's not really Deadpool versus Thanos, it's more, well, spoilers more or less. Deadpool and Thanos looking for Mistress Death, as she's gone kidnapped or missing or something. But, yeah, the book, it's not really doing anything for me. Like I said, hopefully it's not going to be too terribly long a series, and I can get it and be like, hey, I have it, that's great. So, yeah. Next up, and I believe this is the conclusion of the series, Secret Wars Civil War #5. Really, really looking forward to finishing that one off. Definitely one of the better side titles from Secret Wars. So, yeah, very excited to read that and see how that ends. And in a similar vein, I imagine this is probably also the last one, A-Force number 5. I think they want to try and make that into a series after it's done as well. I could be wrong. I could have read that wrong somewhere, but I thought they were doing one. Put it down in the comments if I'm a dumb idiot and wrong. Or put it down in the comments if I was right. But, you know, if it is the final issue of this run, I'll be kind of happy. I haven't really been too terribly excited with the story. But, hey, it's the end of it. I read the whole thing. Huzzah, I guess. So, end of the video time, pretty much. So that means I'm bringing you the comic book pick of the week. And my comic book pick of the week, because I like redundancy, is, I guess it's called Radioactive, the Radioactive Spider-Gwen number 1. I don't know what it is about Spider-Gwen that myself and many, many other people have kind of just latched onto it and been like, hey, this is really, really cool. I think part of it is I just like Spider-Man, and it's really cool to see other spider people. So, you know, you have the X-Men book, and then, of course, out of X-Men, you can get Wolverine and Cyclops and Storm and Gambit and all these, like, multiple characters. But out of Spider-Man, it's usually just Spider-Man. So there's not really a lot going on. So I'm really excited that Spider-Gwen is still hanging around. I definitely recommend picking it up if you're a Spider-Man fan. So I know that's probably the first one I'm going to be reading out of the stack I bought this week. So yeah, Spider-Gwen number 1, pick of the week. So that is now officially the end of the video, everybody. As usual, put down in the comments down there, down in this general area, stuff you're reading, stuff you picked up, stuff you're looking forward to, because I'm sure, you know, if you're like me, today was a really big day for the stack, and next week probably isn't going to be much better, because Marvel keeps dumping books on us. I think they're going to be dumping books on us all the way through November. So, until next video, everybody, this is Adam, signing off.